You ever notice how you wake up some days already feeling tired? Like you didn't even do anything yet. You just opened your eyes and somehow you're already behind. And then there's usually this heaviness in your chest that you can't explain, but it's familiar, weirdly familiar, almost comfortable in a way you don't want to admit. And you go through your routine, if you can even call it that. But your body moves before your brain does. You scroll, you check something, avoid something else. Stare at the wall for a few minutes longer than you planned. Then tell yourself, okay, for real this time. But nothing really changes, at least not for long. The crazy part is, if someone asked you why, you probably wouldn't even know what to say. And honestly, if you asked me the same question 6 months ago, I probably wouldn't have had an answer either. I used to think something was wrong with me. It felt like I was the only person who could see their whole life needing to change, but somehow couldn't get my hand to turn the doorknob. And then I'd get these little bursts, you know the ones, where you're ready, like really ready. You clean your space, write a plan, write affirmations, meditate, go to the gym, make a promise, feel a little spark in your chest, and then somehow you're back to the same old you 3 days later. It's confusing, it's frustrating. But the thing you don't realize is, it's just your brain doing what it was trained to do. Believe it or not, your brain rewards you for staying miserable. Sounds terrible, I know. And I bet you're probably trying to find ways to call out my BS right now. But hear me out. You don't repeat things because they feel good. You repeat them because they feel known. Your brain has a filing cabinet, and it doesn't label things as good or bad. It labels them safe and new. And safe will always win, even when safe feels like shit. You ever been in a situation that drains you, but somehow you can't pull yourself out? Ever stayed in a shitty relationship, even when you know you should have ended it years ago? Ever find yourself attracting the same kind of people? Are you clocking in at the same shitty job every single day, even though you despise every single second you're there? None of those things are weakness. That is wiring. Your brain is obsessed with what it already understands. And misery, especially the quiet day-to-day kind, can become so familiar that your brain treats it like home. The part that really made me realize how much it was true in my own life is I didn't even notice when misery became my default. It just snuck in. And somehow that became the background noise of my entire personality. I could be doing dishes, and my mind would drift straight to some worst-case scenario. I'm driving to work, then catch myself replaying something that happened 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Or this one, you're sitting on your bed trying to get yourself to start something important, and then somehow you've spent 2 hours scrolling through people who seem like they've figured out something you missed. All of that right there is a feedback loop. Your brain rewards prediction. And if most of your life has taught your brain to predict stress, or struggle, or disappointment, then peace is going to 100% feel like danger to your brain. Happiness is going to feel suspicious. And doing better is going to feel wrong, even if it's right. I've had times where I'd have a good day, like a really good day, and instead of celebrating it, I would get anxious. There was a part of me that didn't know how to hold something good without bracing for the crash. And guess what? I ended up losing it. Self-sabotage, procrastination, pulling back, disconnecting, all of it. You ever notice that? How when things just start going well, something in you starts pulling the emergency brake? You meet someone you really like, but ghost them because it's too good to be true. You finally get paid. And instead of paying your bills, you try to save it because you're worried about overdraft. You get a new opportunity at work, then immediately start doubting whether you're qualified enough to accept it. Think about the number of times you've repeated the same New Year's resolutions. Yup, that's not just fear of success. That's fear of unfamiliar safety. You've spent your whole life thinking danger is normal, chaos is normal, stress is normal, worry is normal. Then, suddenly, you give your brain something different. Of course it's going to be like, what the hell is this? Nope, no way. Your brain isn't sabotaging you. It's protecting you from a life it doesn't trust yet. And once you see it that way, things make a little more sense. It's why you keep going back to people you shouldn't, why you keep repeating habits you hate, why you keep avoiding the things you genuinely want, why you feel stuck even when nothing is actually holding you back. Stuck isn't a place, it's a pattern. And patterns don't break because you want them to. They break because you start giving your brain new reps. None of this stuff is motivation, or discipline, or whatever hype you see here on YouTube. I've watched all of the same motivational videos you've watched. I mean this stuff literally. Your brain rewires based on repetition, not intention. You can want a new life 1,000,000 times, but if you keep feeding your brain the same emotional diet, it's going to crave the same outcome. And if I was lying, you definitely wouldn't have watched up until this point of the video. I know because I had to watch myself repeat the same cycles over and over until it finally clicked that my brain was comfortable being miserable. It knew how to survive that version of me, the person that doubted, the person that settled, the person that waited, the person that kept making excuses because it genuinely didn't feel safe doing anything else. And maybe you know that version of yourself too. The version that doesn't trust good things. If that's you, I get it. I used to think that meant something was wrong with me, but it doesn't. It just means your brain hasn't met the version of you who isn't miserable yet. And so it keeps trying to protect you the only way it knows how, by pulling you back to what you've survived before. Your brain is always going to be loyal, even to the wrong things. So I'm not going to give you some BS about just choose happiness. That's unrealistic. That's not how humans work. But you have to realize you're fighting familiarity. Your brain can definitely learn something new. You just have to show it what safe feels like again. Slowly, quietly, repeatedly, almost like teaching a scared kid how to trust the world again. And believe me, it takes time. But it's not impossible. You're not impossible. You're just used to surviving. And unfortunately, you got good at it. Too good. But surviving isn't the same as living. Your brain just hasn't learned the difference yet.